don't know how anybody couldn't just go with that was a complete and utter absolute meltdown. Welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic. Zelensky and Ukraine have officially bent the knee to Trump and will sign the minerals deal. Here's a clip.
True that President Zelensky is coming on Friday to meet with you, and is the mineral deal sorted out?
I hear that. I hear that he's coming on Friday. Certainly, it's okay with me if he'd like to, and he would like to sign it together with me, and I understand that it's a big deal, very big deal. And I think the American people, even if you look at polling, they're very happy because, Biden was throwing money around like it's cotton candy, and it's a very big deal. Look, it could be $1 trillion deal, it could be whatever, but it's rare earths and other things. And look, we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Ukraine and Russia fighting a war that should have never ever happened. That's a war that would have never happened if I were president, and it didn't happen for 4 years. People say, how do we know that? It didn't happen for 4 years. Would have never happened. And nevertheless, this guy went into this situation and he spent money like nobody's ever seen. $350 billion. The other thing that we don't like is that Europe has spent $100 billion. We've spent $350 billion. Europe gets their money back because they spent it in the form of a loan, and we just gave them, whether it's 300 or 350 billion, nobody really knows. They can't even tell me the answer to that. It means probably more than that. So what we're doing is now we're saying, look, we want to be secured. We want to get that money back. We're helping a country through a very, very big problem, a problem like very few people have had. Shouldn't have had this problem because it shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. So we have to straighten it out. But the American taxpayer now is going to get their money back plus.
How many knee bends is this for Trump already in his presidency this time around? They need one of those, you know how they put the Doge savings clock on the debt clock website? They need a knee bends clock on the debt clock website, just so people know that when they go to that website, they're not only seeing negative stuff like a debt, they're also seeing our wins too. We need to be shown these wins, but yeah, how great is this? So Biden gives away about 350 billion of our money to Ukraine, and now Trump gets the mineral rights deal, which is, he's basically claiming it's going to be like $1 trillion deal. So it just goes to show you that, once again, everything Biden touches turns to shit. The whole Ukraine situation, us losing basically 300 billion with half of the money unaccounted for, apparently. And then Trump comes in, fixes the situations. The war's basically going to be ending after this is done. And yeah, he turns Biden's shit into gold and gets us basically $1 trillion deal out of the whole thing. How is that just not another monumental win for Donald Trump and the Trump team? It's just great, and you gotta love it, folks. You gotta love it because all we're doing is winning, right? All we're doing is winning. But all right, let's go to the next topic. Rachel Maddow is pissed at MSNBC for firing Joy Reid. Here's a clip.
An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
It's great to see the left eating themselves, because the left always tends to eat themselves. The right-wingers rarely ever eat themselves, but the left, they just can't handle it because, if one of their agendas goes against one of their other agendas, lose their mind and don't know how to react, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much longer Rachel Maddow or even MSNBC is going to be around. They need somebody to come in and really just get some ratings. But I mean, yeah, you know, things are terrible when your own talent are coming after you and calling you a racist, you know? Now, I mean, apparently Rachel Maddow does like the best ratings on MSNBC, which isn't saying much, you know? I mean, if you're the best on MSNBC, that doesn't really mean anything. It basically just means like you're the best in high school, you know, or something. You're the best athlete in high school. Not necessarily the world, but high school. But yeah, I mean, and this is the typical, you know, thing to do. The black woman got fired, so now Rachel Maddow's got to come out there and shout racism and tell everybody how Joy Reid was my favorite coworker of all time, which, who knows, right? I mean, I doubt it. But yeah, she's just saving face as I'm a righteous non-racist and my company's racist, which we'll see how long she lasts there. Hopefully not long, because show's basically terrible. But it's the best show on MSNBC, I guess, so maybe she's buying herself some time. But all right, next topic. Trump just completely blasts this reporter for asking a stupid question about him targeting people. Here's the clip.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who worry that targeting an individual firm or individuals who, you know, aren't Jack Smith for his actions?
I've been targeted for 4 years, longer than that. So you don't tell me about targeting. I was the target of corrupt politicians for 4 years, and then 4 years after that. So don't talk to me about targeting.
Yeah, see, now I have no problem with him going after that reporter. I don't think the reporter was trying to, you know, get one over on Trump or anything. I think he just wanted to know the answer. But good for Trump going out there and letting people know, yeah, I don't want to hear about targeting when I've been targeted for the last 8 years and probably the absolute worst smear campaign we've ever seen. And not even just a smear campaign. You know, they tried to kill the man and they tried to put the man in jail. You know, the two worst things you could possibly do to a political opponent, you know, the most corrupt things too, but just doing that to a person in general, just trying to put them in jail or kill them just because you basically can't stand their guts. I mean, really, that's just, what kind of lows are we going to these people these days? But yeah, you know, good for Trump, not hearing any of it, you know. I'm not going to let you just claim that I'm the one doing the targeting. You know, that's basically what he's telling the people, and good for him. And frankly, I like seeing it, and I want to see more of it too. This type of behavior with the media, just to let people know we ain't taking any shit too. You know, it's a great thing. People say, oh, he's not presidential. Yeah, well, that's how I want my president to be. I want him to take no shit and let people know that we're the class of everybody and we're the best. But all right, next topic. A female comedian, Natalie Cuomo, was triggered by a heckler and just had an insane meltdown. Now, I want you to let me know if you think, who you think won this interaction, whether it was the comedian lady or the heckler. Here's the clip.
Oh my god, I love it! Okay, wait, what made you want to ask him? Huh?
Why are you making it sound like we're a couple?
Oh my god, don't get scared.
It's not my material.
What? Oh, it's not that. Wow, it's not that. Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
I could leave right now if
Well,
I
I
wanted.
can roast you too. You can't just roast all of us and get nothing. Whoa! Is that not allowed?
I see. So you were afraid because, like, you felt like I was saying you're gay.
I can take the mic if you want.
It's okay. He's your new friend.
I will say this, like, it is such a hard time in this world right now. There are so many people that came together to be supportive and fucking amazing, and you're putting fucking look me in the eyes. You're putting negative fucking energy out here. This is the last show of my fucking, look me in the fucking eyes. This is the last look at me. This is the last show of my fucking weekend. It's a sold out show, and you want to say mean shit to me, okay? So don't fucking do that. Me too. I won't be offended. What do you say? LOL, what a fucking clown. I did warn you I would get kicked out. Man, she is sensitive, especially for a comedian.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody couldn't just go with that was a complete and utter absolute meltdown. And she totally got triggered by the guy and she had no comeback. You know, she was implying that the guy was gay and because he went there with his friend, you know. And then he calls it out and basically starts owning her and she's like freezes up and then just goes in pure lib meltdown mode. You know, see, that's basically career suicide for a comedian. If you have a moment like this out on TV and it's basically just terrible for anybody to have one of these types of meltdowns, you know, especially in public. If you have a public meltdown on camera and it's just something that people can always bring back up, that's not good for you. But for a comedian who's supposed to be able to handle these types of things, like a heckler, for God's sake, right? You know, if you can't handle a heckler and they just make you go full unhinged meltdown, you lost, lady. You lost. And basically, I don't know, maybe your career might be over. Sure, you hear her fans in the video cheering her on and, you know, the whole text message thing. The guy owned her in the text message too, right? She thought she was going to get one over on him, but that was just another owning. It was just another owning. And then she had the finger flip off meltdown even more. Like, oh yeah, you really got the guy. You really got the guy, right? But yeah, I mean, it just shows that I'm sure she's probably a liberal comedian. And once again, the libs just, all they can do is lash out. They can't keep their cool and they lash out. That's their playbook. And you know, it might screw them. It might screw them, right? But all right, well, that's it for today. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.